David Del Rio, thank you for spending some time with me this morning. I really appreciate it. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. I mean, it's just so like very weird that I get to do this for a guest star, but I'm very glad that I get to have a chance to speak about the show and the character. So thanks for having me.
Well, you play a very important character that brings very important awareness to all the viewers on the winter premiere of The Good Doctor. So, do
Mm.
you want to talk a little bit about your character?
Sure. I mean, I play a character that is admitted to the hospital for the start. It's you realize that he's got a case of PTSD that a lot of his and his behavioral sort of ticks kind of just intensify, and sort of his wife is kind of just concerned of why it's intensified because my character has never been violent. He's just been quiet about his experience, but now it's kind of just like he's just popping off like a bottle all the time. And basically, when I had the chance to audition and all that stuff, the casting director Liz Dean just gave me a lot of room to play and explore, and it turned into an experience for me that to play a character as a representation, not of culture, but a representation of something that nobody should ever kind of go through, especially after you serve your country. So it's one of those things that I was pretty grateful that I got a chance to play.
Now, it's a very sensitive subject to a lot of people, not
Yeah.
only here in America but also around the world. How do you prepare for this role?
I think that I'm a cinephile, so I've always kind of start with movies, right, and then kind of see what the movies have to say, what the script has to say, what the actors' interpretations are. So I got to see Michael Cimino's Deer Hunter, as well as Spike Lee's *Da 5 Bloods*. So I got to kind of steal a little bit from a lot of those characters and get their perspective and the point of view of the writers. And then I have two family members who are in the armed services, and I gave them like a nine question questionnaire, and I got to hear from their voices. I mean, they don't suffer from PTSD, but they've come across so many people who have. So I just kind of asked them in terms of like, when they do and they have a chance to tell you the story, are they proud, are they in fear, and what do you kind of need to do around them in case they kind of like feel that they have an urge to kind of shelter themselves in any way possible, and not be in the present moment. And those questions kind of really helped as well. And I mean, this is a thing that is kind of known around the world about what happens to people, but also is not really the forefront in a lot of people's minds to treat. And so my intention was just to kind of tell the story the best way I can, in a sort of representation of things that, this is something that people really need to pay attention to.
No, definitely correct. There are some moments that stood out to me when you accidentally swung at your wife. Is one of them where it's involuntary. It's not something that you
Mm,
want to do, but
yeah.
this is where it's led you.
That was a tough scene, really, because you know I think about my wife too, and I put myself in that shoes. Like, if that were to ever happen, I'd never forgive myself, so that was definitely a hard scene to do, but it was necessary.
Is there anything that stood out to you as maybe as a learning experience, or maybe just as a point of the issue while playing the role?
Yeah, that your own perspective on things you don't know about is not invited. I think that there's a lack of curiosity in the world. I think there's a lack of compassion and empathy in the world, and there's a lack of um, perking up your ears and listening before you put in your 2 cents. I mean, we live in a world where in the palm of our hands, we get to put our opinions out there. But opinions don't matter if you don't do your due diligence in the work, and you don't do your due diligence in your education, and you don't do your due diligence to listen. And there's a lack of listening out there, and I think that's something that ever since I played the character, I've realized that I need to do better, not only for PTSD, but for many other things.
David Del Rio, thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning. Great job on the role. We appreciate it. And we hope that everybody tonight gets a chance to watch it as well.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, take care.
Take care.